No sooner have you rung the ornate bell than the face of a lizard woman surfaces from behind a rock up on the ledge before you. Her stare is as sharp as the bolt eyeing you from atop her crossbow.
Stand back and keep your hands off your weapons! Convince me you're no Magister, or draw one last deep breath. I will not. You do not wear the collar of oppression. Explain. I have heard of this woman. No Magister would know. She can deceive our enemies, but sadly she cannot escape them. You do not share this weakness, as your presence here attests. I apologize for the steel-tipped welcome, but lives are at stake. Hold on, I'll let you up.
With one graceful motion, the lizard throws down a tangled mess of vines for you to climb.
Come, ascend to the sanctuary of Amadia. You'll find you're not the only guest here, but the Great Mother provides for all. Be welcome to this sanctuary. Amadia's eye in the storm.
Waiting for the end.
You are fortunate to have found this place. The hollow marshes swallow life and regurgitate only the dead. My name is Bahara. Like you, I am a sorcerer, but unlike you, I am also a faithful servant of Amadia. Praised be her name, and praised be her starlit eyes. Your chant has no meaning, for you know not of whom you speak. Amadia is the Great Mother. She is the goddess in whose womb magic was conceived, from whose sacred body immortal wizards were born. Gratiana, her priestess in this sanctuary, is teaching me her ways. For several years now, I've been her disciple, but she has resided here for centuries, sustained by Amadia's love. I was like you once, a lost soul driven by instinct from the bowels of Fort Joy. There have been others. They tried to make it back to the mainland, but were never heard of again. I chose to stay. My home is here now. This is where I found solace, found sanctuary. I found the Great Mother, and have been nurtured by her magic ever since. The guests, they call themselves Seekers. They're brave people, and friends to sorcerers. But you'll find them a battered band here today, brought low by bloody battle. Magisters, of course. Who else? The Seekers came here to rescue a sorcerer from the fort. They failed. Many fell. They've heard the Shrieker's shriek. I thank the goddess I'm not haunted by their sound. To know one's fate is to be fearless. I reside in Amadia's palm. I am hers to shield or hers to crush, and in that knowledge I am content. They knew him to be God-woken. They sought to kindle the divinity slumbering deep within his soul. But Alexander bears no rivals. Only the son can follow the father, or so he is convinced. For him, divinity. For the others, the dungeons. It is truly harrowing to know this man seeks to be the Seven's chosen. Have you never heard of them? From the tales they tell of Brachus Rex, they were living weapons, made of flesh and reared in torture. The pain they endured was so terrible, their screams turned to solid lightning. Turns out the tales are true. The Magisters dug deep and returned these horrors to the surface. As you wish. It is the laboratory of a lunatic. A place removed from mercy and sanity where mad Brachus Rex would experiment to his dark heart's content. There are ruins in the marshes, stonework vultures that perch above the king's long-buried treasure. But his is not a treasure of gold, ruby, and sapphire. It is a treasure of death, weapons, and vile magic. The nights here are long and lonely, but I often listen to my mistress Gratiana speak of days long gone.
You're certain it was murders?
He said his name. They never knew that much. Still.
You tried your best, Han. I'm glad you're safe now.
You're alive! Wasn't sure you would be. Samadel, this is the one I told you about.
The dishevelled lizard eyes you with hope, though her hope is tinged with mistrust.
Han tells me you helped him out of Fort Joy. For that, you have my thanks.
We helped each other. That's what sorcerers need to do nowadays.
Can I ask if... Did you happen to meet a man named Gareth on your way here?
He'll be back, Samadel. I know he will. He has to.
He has to, indeed. We need our leader. And if he doesn't return with help soon, we haven't a hope.
Rest, Jules.
Have you heard of Shriekers?
Han looks down with a flinch. Samadel reaches out, grasping his hand. Her jaw tightens.
They're weapons that can kill with a screech. The Magisters patchwork them from living sorcerers. Don't misunderstand me. We're not afraid to fight, but we are powerless against Shriekers. The priestess at the shrine told Gareth some ancient secrets, some defenses that could be found in Brachus's armory, and he went there in the hopes of finding it. Whatever you're kind to offer. But you'd best talk to Gareth's squire, Exeter. He'll know where your talents can be most used. Now, Han, let's take a look at your nasty leg injury.
Catch you later, Skipper. It's good you're here.
Claude, turn your head if you can hear me.
Please, take the pain away.
Mateys, let me change your dressing.
Samadel's focus and attention is wholeheartedly devoted to tending Han's leg.
Claude, turn your head if you can hear me.
Han stares fixedly at the dirt floor, twitching.
Glad you made it here in one piece. Any idea what you're going to do next?
Mateys, the wound is festering. It needs to
He
be
looks at you
changed.
sidelong.
Sure, just don't get too cosy. Folks here just want to cry over spilt milk and wait for Gareth. Soon as I'm healed, I'll find him my... If you have one to spare, I sure would appreciate...
He gulps down the...
Almost good as new now. Thanks. Undead almost got me on the way
Focus
in.
on your breathing,
Had to kick his
Jules.
head right off to get free.
Slow and
Put my foot through his skull and, well... Don't I know it? Still, I hope I don't have to do that again anytime.
Claude, are you still with us?
By Lucian's locks,
The
stop
young woman
fidgeting
chews her
around.
lower lip as she observes the injured before her. She bends to grab a rag, wiping her blood-smeared...
If you're looking for healing, sorcerer, well, there's not much I can do.
By Lucian's
The woman
locks, stop
wrings the
fidgeting
blood-stained rag in her hands anxiously.
Lucian's locked. Stop fidgeting, lad.
Magisters aren't known for their mercy. Many of us died. And the ones here will likely follow the same fate, by a slower road.
It hurts.
I've done all I can. Their wounds are too... If you know a way, I'd be beyond grateful. Magic? All I've got is my own two hands.
She trails off and limply gestures to her paltry.
I'm not even a healer. Ours was killed in the attack. I'm just a cook. Do what you will. Just...
In an instant. My wounds have all but vanished. I didn't think. Thank you.
Swear. See to the others.
The Magister flagship. It has ballastay that tore our ship into kindling. A shard from our own mast pierced my side. I'm lucky the others managed to haul me all the way here. Especially after I saw what the Magisters did to those of us they captured.
He shudders at the memory.
They turned the living into shriekers. Crucified wretches that unleash
Claude,
pure
turn your head
destruction
if you can hear me.
on anyone who tries to pass. Nobody survives those things. I wish I had a fitting way.
Cheated death.
I will not be a burden.
Thank you, stranger.
Leave me be.
It hurts.
You healed me. How did you... Oh, never mind. I don't care how.
Please.
I don't remember much. I barely had time to realize the Magisters were attacking before I was injured. The last thing I saw were these things, these shriekers. Those Magisters are going to pay in blood for what they did to us.
Matis, let me change your dress.
If my mother were here, she'd box my ears for not being able to thank you properly.
Leave me be.
Though I reckon that walloping from the Reds was punishment enough. Take this, at least. Thank you.
Bring them all back from the brink.
My Lucian's locked. Stop fidgeting, lad.
The fog is lifting.
Matis, let me change your dressing.
I will not be a burden. Leave me be.
I'm alive! I'm alive!
I feel better.
Matis, let me change your dressing.
Fine. Swear. See to the others.
We are fortunate indeed to have you.
My Lucian's locked. Stop fidgeting, lad.
Healed? I'm healed.
I feel better.
Someone healed me. I was bound for death, and they saved me. It's a miracle. The Magisters attacked our camp back at the harbour. I caught one of their arrows right in my side. That would have been a slow death. I've seen it before.
He lands a comradely slap on your back. His strength has definitely returned.
Don't you doubt it. This old war serpent's still got some fight left in him. Especially now that wound is healed.
I'm alive! I'm alive!
I feel better.
It seems the wounded will pull through. Thank the gods. It seems the wounded will pull through.
My Lucian's locked. Stop fidgeting, lad.
I'm alive! I'm alive!
My Lucian's locked. Stop fidgeting, lad.
The birds are asleep, the moon's in the sky. The seven watch o'er us, you're safe in bed.
Rubbish!
So close your sweet eyes and rest your wee head.
A young man in oversized armour paces around a table covered with a spread of maps, his face a tight scowl of frustration.
Every approach blocked. Oh, damn it! What good are battle tactics against those things, anyway?
He glances up. In quick succession, he becomes aware of both your presence and the fact that you're not a familiar face.
Who the blazes are you?
Echoes of death.
Beast, eh? On the run from Fort Joy, are you? A seeker can always recognize a sorcerer when they see one.
The young man anxiously fidgets with his curved bow. You found a matter close to his heart, evidently.
That's easier said than done, I'm afraid. Much easier said. The Magisters have us cornered. They have these weapons called Shriekers. If we try to go against them unprepared, we're dead. We've lost many already. There's weapons, ancient devices that can counter those things. Our leader, Sir Gareth, set out to find them so we could break the Magister blockade and escape them, but he hasn't returned. If Sir Gareth doesn't come back with those weapons in tow, well, this Sir Gareth, he's the finest seeker I know. I'm honoured to serve as his squire.
Smoke and screams.
He wouldn't let us down.
Echoes of death.
Not unless something's gone horribly wrong.
The young man throws a furtive glance towards the shrine looming out of the water nearby, then leans in to whisper.
The masked priestess, Gratiana. She gave us shelter here and told Sir Gareth how to stop the Shriekers. But she unnerves me. Speak to her if you wish. She may know more. You'll help us.
His shoulders visibly relax, the weighty armour upon them settling with a clink.
Thank you. Allies are in short supply in this place. If you help us, I promise, we'll get you as far away from this place as possible.
Smoke and screams. Echoes of death. Gareth, please come back.
Please, Armadia, bless and protect your humble servant.
Wisht, bonny bairn, now don't you cry. The birds are asleep, the moon's in the sky. The seven watch o'er us, you're safe in bed. So close your sweet eyes and rest your wee head.
Please, ask. Whatever helps. We came to free an elf called Verdus from Fort Joy. He was a godwoken. He could have been the next divine, but we failed him.
Please come back.
Bless and protect your humble servant.
None. He set out to the Magister flagship, the Lady Vengeance. She's anchored at the old harbour. Once the way is clear, we're to take her and get the hell out of here. Well, before there's a divine, there must be a godwoken. Only a special few among sorcerers have this potential. Without them, a true successor to Lucian will never rise. And on top of everything, someone seems to be killing what few godwoken there are.
Ifan looks anxious, an unfamiliar look on the lone wolf. Stepping closer, he whispers urgently in your ear.
I know who's hunting Godwoken. It's the lone wolves.
No, we don't have the time. Think, damn it.
Smoke and screams.
Gareth would know what to do.
Echoes of death.
Yes.
He looks around, surveying your surroundings with a keen eye.
Please come back.
It's been making the lupine rounds for a while now. Big money for anyone who succeeds in taking out a Godwoken, and I mean big money. I intend to find out. I bet we can track down my old pack and ask some questions. Last I heard, they were camped out near Driftwood. In the meantime, let's keep a lower profile.
In the sky. The seven watch o'er us. You're safe in bed. So close your sweet eyes and rest your wee head.
And protect your humble servant.
Smoke and screams. Echoes of death. Gareth, please come back.
Wished, bonny bairn, now don't you cry.
Maybe we should fortify this
The
place.
birds are asleep,
Make a stand.
the moon's in the sky.
Bless
No,
The
no.
seven watch o'er
We don't
us.
have the time.
You're safe in bed.
Think, damn it.
So close your
Gareth
sweet
would know
eyes
what to do.
and rest your wee head. The beasts of the sea. Stories of your beard alone fly across Rotherham like flocks of crows. Fair a bit more inland than you prefer.
The dwarf beams. His excitement at meeting a fabled freedom fighter is tempered only by the fretting human keeping him company.
Think, damn it. Gareth would know what to do.
Operation Downfall. To people like them, war's a pageant, ain't it? The Queen puts on a show and the peons stand on their neighbours' bones in applaud and pluck. That Lohar, I know the guy. Calls himself an entrepreneur, but that's just a fancy word for thug. Got his finger in every pie in Driftwood. Reckon he's still there. Ain't the trout making that place smell so fishy. Oh, but I've forgotten my manners, and Mama didn't raise no cave troll. Name's Duggan it is. Oh, and this here's Leia. You gotta be sick of that collar. Leia, you can get him fixed up, yeah?
Leia shakes her head and returns to her sulking.
Gareth is... he's still not back.
If we didn't need her to remove Urda's collar, she'd be safe somewhere far from here. And now the rescue's scuppered. It were all for nothing. One of the few hopes that we got, that's what he was. He's Godwoken. One of them that could be the new Divine.
Screams in the hall. Tears in the dark.
She starts to tremble, her eyes staring into the far distance.
Never fear, Petal. Gareth will be back soon. There ain't no scrape too tough for him.
Please, Armadia.
From fragments to whole.
And protect your
From their
humble
past to our
servant.
future. From their hope to ours.
She ain't detailed, but she ain't wrong. The Godwoken are our hope that a new Divine can be born. Someone to replace Lucian and push back them Voidwoken. Someone to restore order and protect the source. I'd speak to Exeter if you want to know more. There's ways, but I ain't privy to them. One thing I do know mind. The Voidwoken have their number. They react to Godwoken like no one else.
Barking dogs in wolves' clothing.
Please, Armadia. Bless and protect your humble servant.
Teeth in the sea. Teeth in the swamp. Teeth in the air.
Aye, there's enough of them about. But don't you worry none. We were part of the caravan headed to Fort Joy. Shiny collars and all. Gareth and the Seekers ambushed the caravan and freed us. Saved every one of us from that hell. But now he's off searching for weapons to take down them shriekers. And all we can do is sit here, thinking about the Godwoken we didn't save.
The dwarf starts to sing softly as the woman rocks slowly in her seat.
Wished, bonny bairn, now don't you cry.
Please, Armadia. Bless and
The birds are
protect your
asleep,
humble
the
servant.
moon's in the sky. The seven watch o'er us. You're safe
Before
in
you
bed.
stands a figure, her body wreathed in cloth. All you can see of her eyes are two dark holes in an ornate mask.
Armadia's blessings, child. I have not seen this face in our sanctuary before. Pray, who are you? Whatever you bring with you, you're welcome to stay, as long as you keep our peace and our secrets. I am Gratiana, priestess of Armadia. It is a privilege to welcome you to her sanctuary from Brachus's vile swamps.
She pauses for a moment before answering.
We must always strive to help those who suffer. For many years I did not understand that simple truth. For many more, I have tried to right the wrongs of my past.
Despite the mask, you can feel her expression harden.
Time is a river, ever slipping by. It does no good to mourn what's gone before, only to appreciate where the current carries us. In this place I can worship the goddess Armadia and help those who come to me for aid. I live a good life. The person that I was is dead. It was not always thus. This swamp was once a rich, lush land before he came, before Brachus. He is no more, thank the goddess. It has been many centuries since he walked riverlong, although he still casts a shadow over this land. He ruled this realm as a tyrant and beast. He stole its source and left only death. On this island he built and tested his weapons. These marshes were a playground for he and his necromancers. Many unfortunate souls were brought here. Blessed were those who died quickly, or died at all. I have been here for many years. It has given me a lot of time to reflect on the past and learn from it. In truth, the torments of Brachus and of these magisters were not so different. Both purged source from this land. Indeed, the magisters have even taken Brachus's worst tools. First, the purging ones, and now those shriekers. Without something more powerful than these sticks the seekers are armed with, those crucified monstrosities will kill them to a man. Twice today I've heard those words. Their leader, Gareth, insisted that he could lead them out of this place. I told him of Brachus's cache of soul-forged weapons, arms not even the shriekers could stand against. He ventured out to find them, but has not returned. I fear for these souls, if he has come to any harm in the marsh. Without the wands he seeks, not one will escape this island. He set off north, to the ruins of Brachus's source armory, but there is no way to know what he found there, even if he walk ever in Armadia's grace.
Maybe we should fortify this place. Make a stand.
Amidst the placid little pond, the faced rivulets stream from her deep-set eyes like endless cascades of sunlit tears. You feel peaceful in her presence. Soon as you gaze upon her loving face, you find yourself drawn into a trance-like state. A voice seems to reach you from within your mind and from the furthest reaches of the stars. Its whispers caress you like a breeze. The voice grows stronger, like a breeze picking up. What were whispers become words.
My children, my children. Gone are my children. Dead are they in the cradle I ruled.
You feel an overwhelming sense that she's at attention, listening to the gentle thrum of your pulse. Suddenly, a shudder passes through the rhythm.
My child, weep with me for the mother who has lost. Weep with me and bathe in the tears of Armadia.
You feel the goddess's presence surround you, feel her nestle you tenderly like a mother. The intensity of her embrace deepens. Never since the unremembered days of childhood have you been so enveloped in maternal safety.
My child, I love you. My own, my own. I will guard you. Wander where you will, and cherish the kiss of Amardian.
As suddenly as it came, the voice is gone, and you wake from its presence as if from dream-filled slumber. The pond now shines with an inner light, and standing in its waters, you feel rejuvenated, pure, as if born anew.
Amardia's grace, blessings upon this day.
Most of this is scrap.
Smoke and screams. Echoes.
We're doomed.
A grim-faced man sifts through a pile of badly damaged weapons, salvaging the repairable, ditching the broken. He picks up a rapier, the blade nicked and splintered, the hilt twisted. He holds the damaged blade up to the light.
This was Halorn's blade. It was his first. It was also his last. He didn't intend to die here, but die here he did. He was an ordinary soul with an extraordinary heart, Halorn, and he died for what he believed. What did Halorn believe in? He believed in truth. He believed in hope. He believed that Alexander is a killer of Godwoken. I believe that on one point at least, he was right.
The point breaks away, leaving a jagged edge. The sword is shorter now, but it'll do more damage.
Who are you?
He realizes, to his surprise, that he holds the weapon in his hand, ready for battle. He smiles to himself, tucks the weapon away, and gets back to work.
If I had a forge, I could do something. Maybe. If I had a forge, I could do something. Maybe. If this is all we have, we're done for.
Please, Armadi, bless and protect your humble servant.
If I had a forge, I could do something. Maybe. Martha's axe looks serviceable. If I had a forge, I could do something. Maybe.
Please, Armadi, bless and protect
More junk.
your humble servant.
Martha's axe looks serviceable.
Please, Armadi, bless
If I had a
and
forge, I could
protect
do
your
something.
humble servant.
Maybe. Most of this is scrap.
Please, Armadi, bless and protect your humble servant.
If this is all we have, we're done for. This is ruined.
He works fast, checking.
The blade is thirsty. Now, nice doing business with you. I wish I had better wares to offer.
Please, Armadi, bless and protect your humble servant.
Maybe we should fortify this place. Make a stand. No, no. We don't have the time. Think, damn it.
Water, please. Water.
Wisht, bonny bairn, now don't you cry. The birds are asleep, the moon's in the sky.
Sir Gareth, did you find any sign of him?
Showed us you're safe in bed. So close your sweet eyes and rest
Please,
your wee
Armadi,
head.
bless and protect your humble servant.
Smoke and screams. Echoes of death. Gareth, please come back.
Please, Armadi, bless and protect your humble servant.
Wisht, bonny barn, now don't you cry. The birds are asleep, the moon's in the sky. The seven watch o'er us, you're safe in bed.
Smoke and screams.
So close your sweet eyes
Echoes of death.
and rest your wee head.
Gareth.
Please, keep looking. Our lives depend on it. Yours as well, I'd wager. Please, ask. Whatever helps.
Wisht, bonny barn, now don't you...
I'm alive! I'm alive!
Lucian's locks. Stop fidgeting, lad.
The fog is lifting.
By Lucian's locks. Stop fidgeting, lad. By Lucian's locks. Stop fidgeting, lad.
The fog is lifting.
By Lucian's locks. Stop fidgeting, lad. By Lucian's locks. Stop fidgeting, lad. By Lucian's locks. Stop fidgeting, lad.
Water, please. Water.
By Lucian's locks. Stop fidgeting, lad. soon as all our wounded are... But for now, we owe it to our own to ease their pain.
I feel better.
I'm alive! I'm alive!
May you always walk in wisdom's wake.
defiled by fog, destroyed by failure. Beast, you are mine.
Doesn't it? I'm ready! Hurts, doesn't it? Doesn't it? your maker.
You know me. You love me. You must find me.
Know you? Love you? I'm not even sure we've met. What strange witchery is this?
Stern eyes in a sterner face stare into your...
Another crawling rat, tracking your stinking paws beneath my nose. Vermin are not tolerated in my house. Begone! Do not doubt my power.
Careful now, that's a trap. Careful, I've spotted a trap. Look out! I see a trap nearby.
What's this? I found something.
Boring.
the great Acorn's monster. It is you. I have found you. The beast, the animal. lord, your god. We will meet soon.
Where does one look for a god when the gods are dead?
I need aid!
Worms take you. Right where I want you.
storm come to engulf. Great Acorn's monster. Is mine.
the Reaper for me.
You're not trying to escape, are you?
I am your lord, your god. We will meet soon.
Where does one look for a god when the gods are dead?
I am the living and the dead. I am air and water. I am blood and fire.
Into the dark with you.
the living and the dead. I am air and water. I am blood. Single. You are vermin. You will be cast out. living and the dead. I am air and water. I am blood and thunder. To none.
Into the dark with you.
Your gaze wanders over the solemn stone, the eyes, stone grey.
That shrine seems to have brought me here. What is this place?
Where are we? No trees, no soil. This is horrific!
A dwarf you've never met stands within this otherworldly plane, and a voice you've never heard echoes in your mind. Marcus Miles, it intones, and you grasp your own head in familiar terror. You are lost in memory, treading upon the Isles of Mist's wispy sands once more. You sense something amid the fog, and it is behind you. But you whip your head backwards to see only grey. And now it is above you, but your eyes find only nothingness.
Marcus!
You shake yourself from your sudden nightmare to find the unfamiliar dwarf still standing there. His face betrays both empathy and impatience with your mental flight to the recent past.
You deserved better from your queen. So did the kingdom. And yet you retained your will, your spirit, your courage, and your convictions. This is how I know I have chosen well.
He motions to the scene below, where several figures engage in seemingly endless battle.
You've come to the Hall of Echoes. You've come to the realm of the gods, the same you see at war below.
In that moment, the spirit's identity is as clear as the North Star on a winter night. This is Duna, the god of all dwarves. He nods in return.
It is no secret that ours are a fallen people. The blame rests squarely on my shoulders. I have made mistakes. Logic holds that if the head is troubled, the body will suffer. But I have a solution. You. You are my Godwoken, my replacement. You've been set on the path to divinity. You've awoken to this destiny, if you will. And you must see it done if the Dwarven Kingdom is to survive and thrive. You will be my champion. And given all you have already endured and sacrificed, I can think of none finer. You will be the one to protect our people. Let me show you.
A tremendous power enters your body all at once, as though you dropped yourself suddenly into a pool of water. You are soaked through with energy, with light.
You may have noticed I have tried to help you on your journey. I blessed the water beneath your feet so that it would aid you. Now you have that power for yourself. And this is only the beginning. More and greater powers await you, if only you will seek them. This is why I have chosen you. This is why I would not see the beast crushed by a kraken and swallowed by a tainted sea. Only you and others like you can wield this great power. Now the choice is yours. Will you use your new potential to raise Dwarvenkind to its deserved heights? Or will you squander it for your own selfish needs? Within each individual lies the power of an empire, of a god. Some choose to ignore it, but others choose to seize it, to hone it, to bend it into the tool through which they will claim greatness. This I see within you, above all my many children. I hope I am not wrong. In time, I will ask more of you. But now your goal is simple. Leave this realm, and abandon any who would put their petty needs above your mightier goals. You are battling for the greatest of goods beyond even Dwarven freedom. Dwarven dominance. When facing peril, your survival matters above all else, even if it comes at your crew's expense. Should you die, the kingdom dies with you. Good. There is still much to say. Too much. For now, listen closely to what I say. You know full well I am not the only god. You have seen the great war being waged among us. Do not believe for a moment they are not seeking their own champions. Perhaps even from among your companions. Competition is inevitable, Marcus. Failure is not. We are strong. We must rise. You must lead us. You will either be my champion or a sacrificial lamb burned at another lord's altar.
His eyes blaze with fury.
Choose me, or you cast us, the kingdom, and all that is, into the eternal void.
Blessed branches, we've returned. Every second we spent in that hellish place was a second the great acorn drew closer. Interesting. You thought it was interesting, Quercus. You know what's interesting? Watching an entire world be strangled by the roots of doom. Seeing the giant races fall like leaves in frost. Hearing the screams of... I don't know what you're talking about. I am perfectly calm. Anyway, as interesting as that cold hellscape might have been, it does not solve our problem. We are here to stop the great acorn, not hide from it. It's already helping more than it knows, Quercus. The fate of the world depends on our ability to research a spell to protect Rivellon. We need to travel across the land, gathering clues, experimenting with different magics, and come up with a spell to shield Rivellon from its doom. Of course, for us to do that, we must avoid being eaten by the servants of the Great Acorn. And that is where our big, foolhardy shield comes in. Quercus! Quercus! It thinks it can use magic at our level. I don't know if that's adorable or just sad. No, I am not going to share our magic with it. I don't care how much you like it, Quercus. Very well, I cannot give it magic, but I can teach it how to forge one spell, if it will keep you happy. One!
The squirrel reaches out, touching your foot with a delicate paw, and you feel your mind open. You can see the forces of magic and see how to combine them in a new way.
There. Maybe now your pet will have a fighting chance. Yes, yes, you're welcome. But can we please get on and save the world now?
The air out here's a damn sight better than in Fort Joy, eh? Not much, I'll tell you that. Why? What do you think of them? Huh. Sharp eyes, lad. But they can't keep the likes of us locked up too long, I'll wager. Come on, let's poke around and see if we can sniff out some blind spot.
Your eyes brim with inquiry, so ask. You don't say. I too had the pleasure. Of course, when I say pleasure, I mean the distinct dishonor. What always happens? I'd rather not talk about it.
She hesitates, but you can tell she wants to speak.
The thing is, Tirsen Dilius, the old father, the Golden Leaf, he wants me to become the next divine.
Her eyes fix on some unseen thing of darkness.
Beware of gods bearing gifts, divinity, and yet he treated me Exactly. His was an exercise in power. Brutal, like all true power is. His was a lesson, meant to discipline, not to edify. Why would I obey such a god? Like I said, beware of gods bearing gifts. But I do appreciate the sentiment.
I'd say we should stop to talk, but I'm swamped. Don't make much of it one way or the other, but the farther we get away from the joy, the better. There's got to be a way off this island. Sure thing, Chief. What's up? One of the gods? Really? Well, look at you go. What did they say? One of the gods said that.
Losa huffs on her fingernails and buffs them on her tunic.
Nice. So what? You gonna neutralize the threat? Shock off the liability? No better time than the present, Chief. Tell me what you want to do. Right. I'll be doing the same. Lead the way.
The air out here's a damn sight better than in Fort Joy, eh? Me too. A god I don't believe in told me things about myself I don't believe. Yeah. Harder to maintain skepticism then, all right. Whatever we believe, we still need to live in the here and now. So, let's get back to work.
Ifan nods and surveys the horizon before striding on.
Yes.
The menacing skeletal guardian looks at you wearily, then yawns.
So you dare defy the will of Brachus Rex, prepare to die, and so on and so forth. Let's get this over with. Precious. I hope this brings the discussion to an end. I don't like being roused from slumber, only to be greeted by such banality. It's dark and dirty, though still a paradise of a sort. I cannot say what nightmares or delights await. In a few moments, I dare say you will discover that information first.
She moans impatiently and taps her bony foot.
Yes, I know he's dead. I am still obligated to perform his wishes. He may not live, but the threat of his curse hangs over me.
She heaves a great sigh.
Finally.
Rubbish. Rubbish.
Flames are extinguished. Thank you.
The flames are extinguished. Thank you.